Hello and welcome to another live event with Crazy Women Country. I'm Donna, and today I'm Donna. No, I'm not Donna. Oh my God, I'm Paula. I'm so used to hearing Donna do that. Oh my God.
We're off to a good start. Okay, I'll be Paula. I'm Paula.
I'm Donna. There you go. I'm so used to hearing Donna do the start. I just went straight into Donna. That's so funny. There you go. Anyway, I am Paula, and today we have Katie McGhie with us. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'll be better when this goes better.
We're gonna get into this. We're gonna just hang.
We're just gonna chill. This is gonna be a great conversation. So how are things with you? What have you been up to?
Things are okay. I think now that I'm in LA, and so things are pretty much open, so kind of getting back into normal life has been a little bizarre, but so it's like that somewhere between that like FOMO of like, oh, I gotta go out, I gotta be doing all these things, and also like now I feel like I'm a big hermit and I just want to stay at home all the time. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know who I am anymore, but it's good, and just been busy writing a bunch and working on some other projects and that kind of stuff. So trying to keep busy and sane. I feel less sane somehow this year than I did last year when the whole world was falling apart. But I apparently thrive under chaos or something. So last year was me. I don't know.
So last year was perfect for you, that madness. It was just like, yes.
I think it was also just like I had permission to sit at home and work all the time. And that's like my like dream day is just like no one talks to me. I get to work all day long. And now that there's like actual responsibility and I have to be places, I'm stressed again.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, I think we got so used to being indoors and just not going anywhere. And now that we can, it's kind of like, do I really want to go anywhere? I just want to stay at home.
It really makes you think like, okay, what did I used to like to do? I'm like, did I go out places? I can't really remember. I'm like, I know I went out to eat like kinda sometimes. Did I ever go anywhere else? What did I do with my life?
Yeah, what did we do apart from eat out? That was it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's just madness. It really is. But, we'll get back to it again. It's like here, they've now said we can take our masks off as long as we can stay a certain distance.
Right.
You still get out of the car and the mask is straight on again. It's habit now.
It is. And I've been like a couple of places where I'll wear my mask and then like sit down and I feel naked. I'm like, this is so bizarre how quickly we adjusted to a whole new thing. So I feel like it's always going to probably be part of life from now on, like if you're on an airplane, it's probably going to be really normal to see people with masks. So who knows?
It's just going to be interesting. Or we're always going to find them in sort of jeans pockets or trouser pockets, I think
they're going to be
It's like being a dog owner when you always find, poo bags in your pocket. Now you
yes,
find masks as well.
my guitarist, Ray, he practices like 400 hours a day. So he constantly is going through guitar picks. And for like the normal human who just kind of futzes, my cat is somewhere. I just like felt him on the. I think he's underneath my couch. That was terrifying. Anyway, so Ray has like old guitar picks that he doesn't like to use because they're kind of thrashed, but I, would take them because they're not. I don't care, but he has hundreds. I mean, honestly, probably thousands of them. And he started this joke years ago where like I wouldn't even know, and I'd find them in my jacket pocket, and I would find them like in my bags, and I would open something up and there would be like 200 guitar picks in it, or like I'd put my hand in my pocket and I'm like, no. So that's it.
It's a great trick to play on people. It's fantastic.
It's horrible. At first I was like, this is funny and I can use these. And now I'm like, get them away from me.
No more guitar picks. I have too many. That's so funny. That's so funny. So recently you had your new single come out,
I did.
which I managed to listen to because it is awesome, absolutely awesome. So tell us more about that. Where did you write it from, that sort of thing?
So this song actually was supposed to be on the album that I was going to release in February. And the album didn't get released. And it was actually a big blessing in disguise because I took a step back and listened to it with a couple of friends, who are more on the sound engineer side of things. And we're like, we can probably kind of make this better, And so we sat down, and this happened to be the second song that we dove back into. And I wrote this in 2017, so a while ago, and I wrote it sitting on a beach with a ukulele because I happened to had a ukulele. I was like, I don't even remember. I think the same day my car broke down at a Whole Foods, and I had to, my battery died. It was a whole day, so I was in a mood. And the song, it is very vibey and it is very moody, and really, the song is just about, it's geared towards relationships, but it's kind of the idea that, no matter what you do, life is going to happen. And so it's just kind of a matter of whether you're along for the ride or not. My favorite line in the song is "Fairy tales aren't always gold." And that was in the moment of me being very moody and vibey. It was just, life isn't always picture perfect, and it's not what we think it's going to be, and it's going to happen. It's either going to happen, the way you think it is or not. And just kind of rolling with it. And how can you kind of show up for it? So, but then we dove back into it. And my friend who helped me mix it, we drank a lot of kombucha. We were on a sugar high. We have a kombucha addiction because we're from LA and it seems appropriate. And a lot of late nights, somebody had to be at the studio. It was funny how it happened because we were just kind of we'll play around with it and, just fix it and that'll be that. But somebody had to come do a live stream at the studio at 5 a.m. And he had a session prior to that until 1 a.m. And he's like, I can't go to bed or I won't wake up. So do you want to come? And we'll just work on stuff. And so we were in the studio probably from I don't even know. We were in there for hours until 5, 6 in the morning until this live stream happened. And I think we were just going mad because it was so late. And then we found all these cool things and we were adding cool breaths in and reversing things. And actually this is the fun trivia is that we also live stream these church services on Sunday from the studio. That's one of the things we've been doing during the pandemic for this church. And one week someone happened to be recording something and someone dropped a box that you stand on a big wooden box. And it just completely, when this amazing sound happened in the church because it's this big giant Catholic church. So it's that echo in there, that reverb. Yeah. And that's what opens the song. We just literally it was on someone's phone and we put it in there and there's no effect on it. It's just this dramatic church sound.
That is awesome.
I'm crazy with this song. And it's not often that you get a lot of people all interested in a song, and everyone I've played it for, whether they no matter what music they're into, everyone's oh, what is this? So I think it's a special song just kind of start off with, and it's also, I never, this song has never been on my radar. It was never one I really played live all that much. And here it is. She's just taken off. She's it's mine.
It's taking a whole life of Zonia.
Yeah.
That's it. No, I love it. I must admit, I was sitting there listening to it today. You can really feel that sort of moody kind of vibe through it. But I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Thanks.
But I have to say, how many people take a ukulele to the beach with them? Is that a normal? Is that normal for musicians?
How many normal people people take ukulele to the beach? I don't know. Crazy people. It was one of those days. I don't know. I think my mom has a ukulele, and I think I stole it. And I was like, I'm going to learn to play this. And I really think the only thing I wanted to learn to play was that song. What is it? I Lava You. It's like the two volcanoes. I don't know why these are volcanoes, but there are two volcanoes in love. And I wanted to learn to play that song. And then I ended up on the beach. I was in a bad mood because I was mad at the person I was dating at the time, probably. And I was like, okay, coming out. And I mean, I have a voice memo of it. I record everything whenever I'm writing it. And so it's interesting to hear me horribly playing it on the ukulele. I can't play the ukulele. And you hear like the waves crashing in the background, and I'm just strumming away on the ukulele.
I love that. That's just great. You need to do like an outtake CD with some of these.
I do. Oh, some of them are. I have like hundreds and hundreds of voice memos where it's just me going, like just really bad. If anyone heard those, they'd be like, "Are you sure this is the career that you want to have?" No.
It makes you wonder. I mean, obviously we've got technology now that if you think of a lyric or think of something, you can put it straight into your phone. Could you imagine? I mean, back when there wasn't mobile phones, what was it? Did they just carry notepads with them and write everything down, or do they?
I mean, that's it. And what's interesting to me is I'm more of a melody person. That's usually, or like, it's like a melody combined with a lyric. And I will literally be in the shower and come up with something and like soaking wet, jump out of the shower, like singing to my phone. Cause I'm like, I got to get this down. So yeah, I mean, I guess you just have to, they were talented and could just like remember it. I don't know, and they just, because I'll do that too. I'll just like sit down, I'll like think of something, and I'll just be like, okay, repeat this one line. It's like 3 words, but repeat it over and over and over and over until, so I'm like, just don't forget this. So usually if I don't record it, it's never the same. So thank God.
It was good the first time around, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite funny. I don't know how they did it back then. I mean, we're either a lazy generation or.
I heard this thing yesterday. The author Malcolm Gladwell was talking about how each generation is actually more intelligent than the last. And it's not that like, oh, we're more intelligent and whatever, but he's like, scientists and like psychologists can't actually figure out why, but we have like a better understanding of things as time. I mean, maybe we're just evolving as species. I mean, that would probably explain it. But the fact that we do have these things at our fingertips now, like, I also wonder what's going to happen in 50 years. And they're going to be like, oh, can you believe they just record things on their phone? Like, they didn't just like press a button in their head. I don't know. Like, if we're this intelligent, I'm terrified of like,
I think, as you said, I think it's how we've adapted. I mean, you've got 2-year-olds who could probably use a mobile phone better than I can.
Absolutely.
I think that's how the intelligence has changed. We've adapted and evolved in a way that we can use technology. Obviously looking way. But I mean, I remember getting my first computer, and it was like, and the internet when you had to plug it in and it dialed up. You know what I mean? And nobody
will haunt me for the rest of my life.
And kids don't know that. I mean, you see these videos and they're like, what is that noise? I'm like, we had this. And you couldn't use the house phone. You had to sort of just stop. Or you had to have 2 lines into it. Yeah.
It's so funny to me. I was like, I remember as a kid, there was after Home Alone came out, they like in the movie, Macaulay Culkin uses that like recorder thing, and it's like, it's gray. It kind of looked like a Walkman, but it was like, had something else on it. Now I'm sounding like I'm really old. Although I'm not. In my mind, I'm like, that was yesterday. But they sold them at like Toys R Us or something like the toy store. And I used to walk around in my backyard and sing into it and just come up with random songs and, whatever. And I guess that was like my original voice memo, was my cool Home Alone tape recorder thing. You know, so I guess I've been doing it my whole life.
It's just the technology's just got better and
Yeah,
better.
just
And better.
evolved a little bit. Yeah.
It's like when we used to record off the radio, and you had the cassette. I mean, who knows what
How
cassette
to
is?
be ready and know when the song was going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah. See, you don't know the struggles that we went through just to get a song. It's like, okay, ready.
I mean, come on. Fans back in the day were way cooler. You know, we worked hard.
We did. I must admit, I was looking on a band's website today at some of their merchandise, and even they still sell cassettes. I'm like,
well, because now it's cool. Now it's like old. Oh, what's old is now like the cool thing. I mean, it's the same when vinyl came back. You know,
yeah.
When Urban Outfitters start selling anything, you know that like, oh, it's a trend now. So I've even had people say like, oh, you should make like a limited press release of cassettes, you know? And I'm like, well, I think that's really cool, but who has a cassette player? You know, you'd have to like buy cassette players and send them to everybody.
You cassette player with your set, yeah.
You know, I think it's cool. I would love, I mean, obviously, I don't think anything sounds as good as a vinyl does. I can't say the same for cassettes, but.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember a friend of mine recorded from an album, from a record, onto a tape for me. And obviously it stepped away, and there's a part of the song that just repeats, because obviously it's got stuck in. You don't know the struggles we went through. A slight scratch, and that's it.
It's so true. My favorite is when it like kind of slows down a little bit, and then it's like not sure which side it's on.
Yeah. Or you put the wrong size, it goes down too fast or something. Yeah, it's totally different. See, you don't know the struggles we went through. Oh, that's so funny. I love that. Okay, I'm going to test you. I know we put you through our quickfire questions before.
Okay, I'm ready.
We've got four or five I'm going to ask you now.
Okay.
Actually, might be more now, I can't count. But these are slightly different. So these are the fun ones, the new ones that we've been asking. So I want to see what you get out of this. Okay, so what sitcom family would you be a member of?
Full House. Full House. God, I'm a child of the 90s. The 80s.
It's all good. Okay, if we had a look on your iPod or phone, what would be your guilty pleasure music? What would be hidden away in there?
Ooh, well, there's two. It kind of bridges depending on my mood. It's either like full 80s pop, or I have a playlist called my Good Morning playlist, and it's like all like 90s and really early 2000s pop and grunge and rock and stuff. So it's that those two decades are like what make me feel the best. So.
That's awesome. I love that. I still listen to 80s pop now, I have to say.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Nothing beats it, honestly.
So it just cheers you up. As soon as you put it on, it's like,
yeah, you feel good. Or like you just like feel like a badass. You can put on Heart at any time and be like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for something. Yeah.
Rocks. I love Heart. Heart's amazing. Yeah, totally. Okay, what's the weirdest, sweetest, strangest thing a fan has ever done for you?
Weirdest, sweetest. Oh man. Well, the sweetest, I'm trying to think of like the weirdest, because I feel like that would be more interesting.
With the crazy.
Although I don't know that I've had like too many weird things. Like I've had friends who like, you know, their fans will draw photos, like portraits of their cats for them. You know, like I'm waiting for that day. That's what I hope for. Like if anyone out there wants to draw a photo of my cat, I'll take it. I'll go that but really the sweetest, honestly, is anytime it's usually like I've gotten it with like a lot of the Of Eden fans of my duo, and they, you know, just like let me know kind of, they share something, how like a song or an album or something has, you know, gotten them through something or whatever. That means a lot to me, just because as a music fan, I feel the same about a lot. And so it means a lot to me to like hear that, you know, something I've created has helped someone in some way. So that's always like the sweetest thing to me.
That's awesome. That's always good.
Okay. Cat pictures at any time. Really.
Remember that, people. Any cat photos.
Yes.
Anyway. Okay. If you could add somebody to Mount Rushmore, who would it be and why?
Dolly Parton. Done. Dolly Parton. Why? Let me tell you why, Paula. Because I don't know anyone who like dislikes Dolly Parton, and if they do, they're probably dead inside. But I feel like she just represents everything this world could and should be. She's just like fun. She jokes about herself. She's easygoing. She's very intelligent. She works really hard. She supports all different groups of people and walks of life. She's spiritual. She's loving. Like, come on. And she'll, you know, like she said, she'll turn a rooster into a hen with one shot. So she also like reminds you, like, I'm nice, but I'm kind of a badass. And I feel like, you know, we should all be a little bit more like that. So.
I would hate to be on the wrong side of Dolly. Could you imagine it?
Can you imagine if I feel like that's the official, like cancel culture is a thing now, but if Dolly doesn't like you, you're done. Like
That's
you were
it.
you have to be
I think Donna's on her travels now, so I think part of her trip she will be stopping at Mount Rushmore. So I think she's going to try and do a live event from there. So we need to try and catch that.
Can she take a photo, like maybe a wide, and then I'll Photoshop Dolly's head onto Mount Rushmore? That'd be great.
We're going to get a petition out there to put Dolly up there because the amount of people who have said that is so good.
Done. Definitely. I think it's great.
Definitely. Okay. What is the best thing since sliced bread?
The best thing is I can't talk, but the best thing since sliced bread is it is, hold on, there's just so many wonderful things. What do I do on a daily basis? I'm just going to go because I'm going to make them today. Black bean brownies. It sounds horrible and disgusting, but they're the best brownies I've ever had in my life. Sorry, Mom, yours are still better. But they're pretty ridiculously good. Basically, anything chocolate is better, the best thing since sliced bread, you know.
Oh, I love that. A major sweet tooth. Anything since anything chocolate. I love that. Okay. What's your favorite snack? And it can't be chocolate.
Chips and guac. Always. Guacamole. Always.
Seriously, that's awesome. I love that. Okay, now this is one of the best questions that we ask, I have to say.
Ooh, okay.
Hypothetically, if we came to you and said we need to hide a dead body, do you know a good place?
I sure do. I watch a lot of crime dramas, Paula. Look. I have watched Bones is like my favorite, like crime drama, I guess it is. Yeah. Like I just love that show. I've watched it several times. I also really like White Collar, although that's more like con man stuff. But Bones, I'm telling you, I feel like I know not what not to do. I'm scaring people now, but I'd figure it out. We'd figure it out, Paula. We could do it. I'm sure we're a short Google away from the best place.
Don't forget to clear your history, though. You'll be well away. Use somebody else's PC, then you'll be sorted.
Yes, and for legal purposes, this interview is a joke.
It's totally
and cannot be used against us in a court of law.
It still amazes me. A number of times we've asked that question, and people have gone into full, in-depth answers. They know exactly what they're doing.
Here's the thing. Horror movies like, you know, Freddy or like Freddy Krueger, like that kind of thing, like Nightmare on Elm Street. That kind of stuff doesn't scare me. It's the stuff like Saw or, whatever. Those kind of movies terrify me because a person who exists on this planet thought up all of these scenarios in which they could make this thing happen. And I feel like people know, like, we're all a little bit crazy, The fact that there are people that are like, yeah, I have it planned if and when,
That is just scary. Yeah, anything that's sort of really close to true life, that's the scary part because that could actually happen, and that's
actually happen. So yes, but look, I'm prepared. I am prepared when you need me.
We're LA bound. There we go. Okay, what would be a good theme song for your life?
Ooh, there's so many. I'm just gonna swing it back to Dolly, but when does that not happen? But I listened to her song "Better Get to Livin'" constantly. Actually, during the pandemic, I listened to it every single morning. Like, I forced myself to, because it's just like the best reminder of like, okay, you can have your minute, but like, you better get to live it, So yeah, that's a good one.
That is cool. I love that. And you can't go wrong with Dolly. Seriously.
You can't. I like Dolly Parton, if you guys haven't guessed.
You can see her picture on your wall.
Oh, she's always right here.
Who's that next door?
This is Gene Kelly.
Okay.
I love Gene Kelly. This is Dick Van Dyke and Julie Andrews. You can't see him, but that's Paul McCartney, some Celine Dion. Over there is Michael Jackson and Freddie, and up top is Freddie Mercury. Just all of the people that inspire me.
Freddie is awesome. Absolutely amazing. What a talent. He just, left us way too early. And Julie Andrews. And Julie Andrews, I love her.
I love her. I mean, Julie Andrews is like my queen. Freddie Mercury, to me, I have always wondered, like, with the way technology is now and the way that music is produced now, like, what would he come up with like in a studio with like loops and, and all the different kind of things. Like, I'd be fascinated to know what he would do with that. Because I feel like a person in there, like, making weird stuff happen.
I mean, especially when he came up with Bohemian Rhapsody at a time when he didn't have that. I mean, that was just
it's mad.
His mind, he must be just, fantastic. Absolutely. Yeah, I loved him. Absolutely. I grew up on him, actually. But yeah, it's awesome. And Dolly, and obviously, Julie Andrews. Any of her musicals, just.
She's just, I love her so much. I just, again, maybe she could be on Mount Rushmore too. Her and Dolly. We should just put them in and put Dolly Parton and Julie Andrews.
And we're sorted. There you go.
Maybe Oprah too. Oprah. That seems like a perfecta.
3 powerhouse women, seriously.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. You put those 3 women together and they could do so much more than most people. That would be so cool. This has been fun. Even if it did start off a bit rocky.
Oh, you did it. No, you did it. This is great. I mean, I missed Donna, but you did it.
We got there. So cool. Oh, I couldn't share anything on Facebook. I've been blocked on Facebook the last 2 days. I don't know why.
Facebook? Get it together, Facebook.
They blocked me. So you put out all these amazing posts. I'm like, I can't share. It won't let me share.
Oh, no.
It blocked me yesterday to 7 o'clock tonight. And I'm like, yes. And then when I went back on, he goes, no, you're blocked till 3 o'clock tomorrow.
No. You're just too popular. They're like, you're going to break the internet.
Yeah, stop it. Stop sharing things. I'm like,
it's okay. I'm convinced that like all social media platforms hate me because I can post something and like 2 people see it. And I'm like, I don't get it. Like,
why?
I don't understand. And then you post something kind of pointless and weird, and then like 400 people see it. And you're like, this is pretty backwards. Like, I don't.
No, that's it. I think, I don't know. maybe that's how people are. I mean, there's so many videos that I see and I'm just thinking, why did I watch this? I just wasted 10 minutes of my life.
And yet those are the ones we watch. So I don't know. Well, I hope you get unblocked soon.
And me too. Or else I can't share nothing. It's like
no.
Absolutely nightmare. Anyway, this has been so much fun. So much fun. It's been so good talking with you again. And yes, we look forward to new music.
Yay.
Everything else.
There's always new coming. So
it's good. That's what we need. We need this. All of Katie's socials are in the link below. So make sure you check them all out because she's amazing. Have you got any live shows coming up soon or
you know what, I'm trying to plan some for later this summer, so definitely some in LA. I'd love to get out to Nashville later this year, so we're back to kind of scheduling stuff, which is really exciting. So yeah, and then maybe another live stream or something. I think live stream will be probably part of even live show experiences now. I think I'll probably always have that option available for anyone that's like not quite ready to like go out and go to a show. So so hopefully towards the end of the summer and into the fall I'll be back out there. Oh man, I can't wait.
Yes, that's what we need. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been so much fun. So yeah, thank you everybody for joining us. Have a great time, and do not forget to follow Katie because she is awesome.
Come hang.